We go.
Hey everybody, we're running a few minutes behind. That's
Just
okay.
two?
Think
Was that a few?
we no, I'm running like 30 minutes behind. I don't know where the heck you are. I've been running 30 minutes behind all day.
All right, there we go.
All
Now we can share.
Have you ever had one of those days where it's just everything seems to be 30 minutes behind?
Every day.
Hey everybody, we're running a few minutes behind. Oh, I hate this. I hate this. Why?
It's just
Why
now
does it
showing up. Okay.
I'm trying to share and it's just making me share to okay, copy the link. Let's see if I can do this. And the kids are gonna start. I will be right back.
Oh, I hear Abby. All right, while we share this, everybody else can share it too. Well, while one of us shares it, the other one's got a baby crying. And this little girl tonight went to her first dance lesson, so yeah, she's had a lot of fun. Okay. Oh, there we go. So tonight's topic should be fun. We came up with one today that seemed to be something that happened to both of us. Hey, Jeremy, Dawn. I'm going to be in Facebook jail before this is over, but you know, it's the way it goes.
Please don't. We were just discussing that I cannot do the show without you. I would be messed up.
Oh, I can still do the
I
show.
don't
I
know.
just share.
Oh. So this is
Jennifer. Okay, so let's tell everybody what tonight's topic is.
Oh man, we just came off a retrograde.
Sometimes.
What a retrograde it's been. I think we all need to learn a little bit of personal responsibility with this retrograde. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Holy cow. That hit hard. I had an incident with a friend and I had to wait until after retrograde was over. I had to take a deep breath, had to ground myself, make sure that, I wasn't going to make moves that were wrong. Just the energy was completely off with this retrograde. Yeah, it did, Jen. It really did. It hit hard, and it hit in different areas too. Like I know people who learned some pretty hardcore lessons, and they learned how it's weird to see those effects unfold with everybody else that's involved that you may not be directly involved with, but how letting go of something and coming to peace with an issue can open up a whole different doorway into your life and to somebody else's life. And it was that personal responsibility that they took to get the issue resolved. And I'm proud of that person. Very, very, very proud. How about you?
Yeah. Yeah. But here's the thing. Even people that don't believe in the retrograde, even people that have no clue what is going on or why. What about all the shootings that are going on? How many have we seen just in the last week?
It's grotesque. It really is. And sorry, everybody, I have allergies. They are picking onions. I'm all scratchy. I'm breaking out in hives. It's awful. My nose is running. The kids are all, snarly. That and, pecan trees and dust and no rain. Can everybody just go do a rain dance for us here? Fire's pretty high. That's chaos too. I mean, look how much chaos Mother Nature is just thrown at everybody. It's been
Hey, Emily.
no, I didn't, Jeremy. I just have it pulled back a certain way. I can't cut my hair. I'd
What?
cry.
Wait a minute. Oh, okay. There we go. It's like, what are you seeing?
Yeah, no, I have it. I have it in a messy bun.
Oh, if she'd have cut her hair, oh gosh.
So yeah, I noticed. This is something I've been talking about. This is one of the reasons why we wanted to do this show is, to teach people, what to do in situations like this, because we feel so helpless with the negative energy, the mass shootings, just the chaos going around, period. And that's your personal responsibility. Take personal responsibility for the negativity in your life. Change your views, change the way you go about things, and it will change somebody else's point of view. You don't want to change somebody else's point of view. I don't want to say that. You lead by example to help them develop a better point of view. Is that what I want to say?
Mm-hmm. That's a lot better.
It is, because I don't believe in changing one's opinion. I don't believe in changing one's mind. You have control over yourself. That's the beauty of free will. And it's the responsibility of, your free will and what you do. Obviously, going out and shooting everybody is not a solution.
No.
Going and hurting somebody with words, with physically, emotionally, mentally, any of them, any of the of your core, it's not right. So what do you do when somebody does attack you? I don't think people have learned how to process that. Well, you just process it like they are having not one heck of a day, but they're having one heck of a ride in life because they weren't taught right.
Yep.
When you can look at it from the simple point of view, they weren't taught right. So therefore, if you continue to lead by example, your children will lead by example. Your friends will start to lead by example. You'll start to better yourselves. Because I believe good friendships and good relationships, you should better each other. So if you have that positivity in your life, you come together as a community again. You bond.
Well, and here's the thing with that. This is something we discussed last night. Everybody's blaming, oh, it's the Democrats. Oh, it's the Republicans. Oh, it's whatever else, anything but themselves. Okay. Do you think that these 16 to 18-year-old kids give a damn about a political party? They don't even know what it is. They don't care. They don't know. This is the way they were raised. This is our world. Maybe it's a parent's political party. I don't know. But this is how they're raised. And this is all they know.
So I'll get some of my politicalness going on, and it's not even going to be about party. It's not going to be about religion. It's going to be about the home. But you teach your kids how to research politics. Sit down, have a family dinner. Sit down and talk about your values and your morals instead of turning on the TV, instead of sitting down and putting on, the phone. I have a rule. Dinner time, no phones. Absolutely not. I catch you with the phone, dinner time. No, it's gone. I will sit on it. I will put it somewhere. I will take it away because that is important. Family time is important. And that's good energy time. That's positive energy. That's bonding. That's building the core and morals and the foundation. And that's bringing personal responsibility. You have a personal responsibility to these little beasts. You brought them into the world. They are your responsibility, and treat them as such. And they are your responsibility in the fact that you have to give them to the world. You have to share them. They are not yours to keep. So you need to teach them properly. I have a saying, some people's children.
Brad.
I don't care if you're 98. I don't care if you're 2 days old. Some people's children.
Mhm.
You have to start teaching. You have to bring the foundation back. You have to bring the core back, and you have to start literally living by example. I'm not talking about I cuss like a sailor. Abby's new favorite thing while playing video games with me. Now with me, okay, so we bond over video games. I'm not just sitting there handing them a controller and walking away. I play video games with my kids.
Okay, hold on. I need to make sure this is not something. What's going on?
I
This
think
is.
probably a scammer.
I just want to make sure because if it's not, I I want to know. If it is, we can make them disappear. I don't know what's going on there.
But we have
What
a
is
person.
Abby's favorite word?
Do what?
What is Abby's favorite word?
The F word.
Mm-hmm.
When I can't figure something out and I get frustrated, that's my go-to word. That's my favorite word.
Okay,
The F
no,
word
I'm done.
is my favorite.
Sorry, y'all. It's gone. I'm done. All right.
So I'm not perfect by no means. I hit a brick wall with my daughter. I hit a brick wall with my son. I hit a brick wall with my kids. But I try
No,
to.
no.
But I do. There are times I hit a brick wall. I cannot get through to them. They have to learn on their own. They have to do it. But I do it with love. But here's the thing, and I say everything stinks after but. The but part is you've got to clean up your own act and live by example. Yeah, if you've made a mistake, you have to say I've made a mistake. And then not just say it, but fix it, correct it, learn from it. Share the experience with them and let them see that you make mistakes and this is how
Oh
you learn.
no. I just did something. Oh my gosh.
Oops.
Yeah. How the heck am I going to fix that? Jeremy, help. I hit the wrong person. What the heck?
It's okay. It happens. We'll get her unblocked.
No, I cannot block her. No.
We'll get her unblocked and she'll understand. It probably scrolled up right as you clicked.
Oh my gosh. No. I accidentally blocked Emily, Jeremy. Yeah, I guess it scrolled up, and when I was trying to block that dude, it blocked Emily. We cannot block Emily. No.
So you take that person.
Talk about mistakes and fixing them. Jeez. Okay, see, I should
But
not have control of this.
don't give me control. Right, Jen? She'll understand.
Period relative that I wish.
I'm just saying.
Brad, I would take that money and just we would all be happy. Okay,
I'm like running through like the ideas in my head right now. What would I do with millions right now?
I think you'd do the same thing I did. We'd buy a compound.
I would.
Thank you.
I'd buy a huge compound. I'd rehab the place. I would start a little village of children.
Not just children, just adults that want to. They've just had a hard place in life and want to actually work, want to fix themselves, want to do things in life. Not the ones that want enough money to go buy drugs. Not the ones that want enough money to go be porn stars or whatever the heck they want to do.
Yeah, no, I want to feed the world. Yeah, I want to feed their heart, their soul, their stomach, literally. I'm working on that. I'm really excited. But that's another life that I live. But no, I'm right. I don't, that's personal responsibility. See, that's something I'm taking upon myself. I have an idea. I have the ability to work on this idea. So why not do it and take the personal responsibility on a bigger scope of what I want to do and go forward with it. Why be greedy? Why be selfish? Why keep it? I'm here to teach. I'm here to share. But personal responsibility is huge. I think that's what we all need to work on. I'm going to keep on saying it. Personal responsibility. Personal responsibility. It's the age old theory of you tell me I'm sorry, show me.
Yeah.
I'm very much that
I
person.
am so sorry, honey. I did not mean to do that. I was trying to click that idiot and it scrolled up.
It's Adrienne.
Yeah.
It's Adrienne. There's just some things that happens to the best of us, and it happens repeatedly to the same person over and over again. It's Adrienne.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So personal responsibility. What?
I love that. I love it. I love it. It's like we're living this reality show.
I think the train just derailed. So it was a train. I don't know what just happened.
Zach will find out.
Yeah, who can find out?
He's on a mission.
So tell me, everybody, what can we do personally? What can we do to change the world? Change something.
I don't, like I've said before, and I'll say it on every show if I have to, I don't believe in one set goal. I don't set one religion. I believe in many. I believe in energy. And energy is the base core of all religion and the base core of every human. So with that being said, or any living being, a plant, an animal, with that, what you take out of the pot is what you put into the pot. So if you're continuously taking negativity out, all you're doing is replacing it with double the amount of negativity. Start smiling more. Start having a more positive attitude.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Start smiling at that person next to you in the car. Turn up your music, not to be annoying, but, jam out, not care. Be yourself. Being yourself, being authentic, and being true and being real with you alone is enough to bring the positivity back around. I truly believe that there's a commandment in the Bible that if you love yourself and you do good by yourself, you have the right path to shine with God's light, because you live with His love.
And
you are the perfect example.
People ask me all the time, and it sounds ridiculous to say until I hear other people say it. Yeah, I'm a Christian. Yeah. I'm also pagan, Wiccan. I take a little bit from everything.
Right.
Is there really one? I don't know.
Brad brings up a point. We need morals back in society, and that's one thing I stress the most, is that it doesn't matter if you're Christian, it doesn't matter if you're pagan, it doesn't matter if you're Wiccan, it doesn't matter if you're Buddhist, it doesn't matter what you believe and what you practice. They all have morals. The morals and the baseline are the same. You do good by your neighbor. You give what you want in return, and that's that whole taking from the cauldron and giving back. I do believe that every one of them states something, an eye for an eye, and that's this return to sender. That's the karma, the threefold and everything else. So you bring these morals back to the dinner table. You don't go after the neighbor's wife. You don't. You appreciate each other as a human and as society, and you take care of each other. Is the base of all religion. we need to go back to teaching instead of preaching.
Right.
Instead of getting on that pulpit and preaching, why don't you go get on that pulpit? And I don't care what pulpit it is, including the one that I stand on right now, because this is a pulpit. I use this to share what I believe. You live by that example. I say it every show. I'm not perfect.
Nobody
Far,
is.
far from it, but I strive to be the best that I can be every day. And I strive to do right by everybody. And I try really hard to do everything with love. I can't say I do it 100%, but I at least do it with 99%. And that includes what seems like the meanest, cruelest thing I could ever do. I do it with a lot of thought put behind it. I do it with a lot of intention, a lot of lesson. So it's not that I'm doing it to be vindictive.
Okay, so we're talking about practice what you preach. Okay. This. You ain't kidding. There ain't one that's not that. I'm not kidding. Yeah. Hey, Enoch, how you doing?
Do you know, it's interesting that we do things, and Brad, I'm gonna give this example. Waving to people is so important. It acknowledges somebody. Okay. Now, as an energy worker, we believe that our right hand we receive, correct, and our left hand we push out. So when you go to wave to somebody, when you wave higher, how are you supposed to wave?
Like that or like that?
You're supposed to wave like this with your right hand. You're welcoming them, right? You're receiving them. When they go to leave, you use your left hand and you wave, right? Because you're wishing them well, and you're pushing off your love. So you stand there, and I did this last night. The kids stayed until really, 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 really late. And I waited until they left to turn off the porch light. And when I say I waited until they left, I waited until I knew that they hit I-25, to go home. I waited until I knew that they weren't coming back. I waved until they were out of sight. And all I did was wish them safety, love, and blessings on the way home, and guidance and clarity and whatever else they needed. People don't stand on the porch anymore. People don't wave anymore.
We do.
We
take
don't.
the parents out. That's really the only people who come over, but we take them to their vehicle, make sure that they made it there. Usually it's him, but one of us will. And I stand there till they're gone.
Emily, I love that. I love that. I had an aunt that did that.
Oh,
Use both hands. She's just doubling it. She's just like, come on, you guys, let's go.
But that's something. What you said is something we'll remember every time we do that now.
Right. It's little things. So when you acknowledge somebody, you're acknowledging them. You're welcoming them. You're not pushing them away with negativity. You look at somebody, you connect with somebody, you smile. They smile back most of the time. And it's a warm exchange. It is seriously little things like waving, acknowledging. Human beings don't acknowledge human beings anymore, and we're all crying out for attention.
I don't know how many of us here. I don't know about Emily. I believe she is, but I don't know about a lot of the other people that are on here. I believe Emily works with energy. I believe she's an empath. I think she has quite a few gifts in that area. Enoch has some. I do know that. But Emily, but like today, my daughter's 30. She's 30 and a half, going on, 31. She's always said little things, but she's like, nope, nope. And I never acknowledged anything about anything I could do. I had to pretty much take lessons and learn. And because long time ago, when I was and my mom died, I was like, if she don't come back to see me, there's no such thing. She would come back and see me if she could. So nope, there's no afterlife. There's no nothing. So hi. So you good? There's some in the kitchen too. Okay.
That magical mist.
So she texts today and what? Yeah, bring him here. So she tells me, she said, Mom, I'm standing in the plasma donation line, and she said, I'm kind of standing with my shoulder up against the wall. She said, all of a sudden, I got this shock. Like, and she described it as how we used to get that bubble gum. It was a trick bubble gum where you'd grab it and it would shock you. And she said, I felt that all the way down my back. And I look and I don't know where this woman came from, but she's standing behind me. And that's what she gave off. And I'm like, okay. She said, I don't know how to explain it to you. I wish I had words. I said, no, I understand what you're saying. But she said, I don't know. Now it's really awkward because I kind of bumped into her when I was trying to turn around and put my back against the wall. I said, it's okay. So did you get good or bad off of her? And she said, neither one really. She said, I looked at her and thanks. Um, she said, I looked at her and she's just empty. She said, she's not good. She's not bad. She's just like hollow, like she's empty. I said, okay, well, let's, I said, you need to ground yourself, surround with white light because you don't have sage. I already know this. I said, but if she has something to say to you, you need to listen because she may have a message for you. And she says, okay. So she said, we just went our separate ways. I said, well, maybe, just maybe, she is just needing something. Huh?
I think I know this. I know this, and I just want to interject what just came to me. That woman was the message.
It might be, but I told her, I said, you know, you may have needed to say something. I said, if you just smile at someone or just say something, you don't know, you could change your life. And she goes, now I feel icky because I didn't say anything. And maybe she needed me in that moment. I said, she may have.
It's interesting because we had just talked about something I had seen with people, and I don't talk a lot about, the energy work that I do, but I'll open up about it a little as Adrienne's like, oh, wow, we're going here. I see people down to the core, and I'm able to take them and see certain aspects about them. And what I've noticed lately when I'm walking by people, it's like their energy is completely outside of them, and they're this like little flicker of light, and it's just barely flickering. And what that's telling me is the negativity is literally creating us to pull away from ourselves, to live in an alternate reality. We are creating a different reality by just existing outside of ourselves. We are so interwrapped in our cell phone and our Instagram and everything around us that we have completely disconnected with the world around us. And we need to reconnect with that, and that disconnection will slowly fade. It takes time to heal. It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of creativity. But if we can just bring ourselves back to ourselves and take the personal responsibility once again of saying, I have these problems, and everybody has the problem. Everybody. I'm no different. But acknowledging it and taking steps to change your habits and change your ways is huge. And you start to fill yourself back up with positive things, and you start to fill yourself back up with positive light. And I do believe you can bring yourself home. I
Yeah.
do believe that we can bring ourselves back to being human. Um, we have to learn how to connect with ourselves first, though.
Hmm.
It's sad. I'm trying not to cry. It's scary when, you used to walk down and you could see like these bright lights everywhere. And to see people now, it's, I don't want to go out. It's overwhelming. People say, "Oh, you can tune it down. You can do this. You can do that." I can't. I can't filter.
No. And that's what I told her. I said, "So, how long have you been able to do this?" And she says, "I guess I always have. I just now started paying attention to it." I said, "So do you see?" She goes, "I see people's light." And she told me like I should know, like everybody does. She said, "You know the light you see around people?" I said, "Wait a minute. Do you see colors around people?" She goes, "No. I see different colors of white." Oh. I said, "Okay, so can you differentiate between good and bad when you see that?" She goes, "No, not really." She said, "But what I feel off of them, just she said it like I should know, like everybody does it." She said, "I feel different vibrations. Like some people are a hum of a refrigerator, and others are just an electric shock." Oh, how long you been doing this? She says, "I guess for a long time." I guess she thought everybody did, just like I thought everybody spoke to animals. I
Right. We grow up not knowing any different. So when we hear somebody has something different, I don't know. It's pretty cool. I always love learning about people's abilities because we're all different. We all have our own abilities, which can be the same or different. It is so fly season here. We need rain, people. We need rain. Um,
well, that's like Brittany. She made something snap, especially when we were speaking to someone else who has abilities, and I asked, and she said, "Well, yeah, that's how I feel energy." What? And then it clicked. People talk about vibration. That's what they're talking about.
mhm.
The either the hum of a refrigerator, all the way up to the shock of. I was
Of
like,
feeling,
oh,
yeah,
it took
there's,
that to make me see it.
when we think of energy, we need to really think of like all of our senses. And energy is all of our senses rolled into one. So it depends on what are you in tuned with. If you have somebody who's blind, they're more in tune to hear and to feel something like the
Mhm.
vibrations. If you have somebody who's deaf, they're more than likely to be able to see and to literally feel. And then the sense of smell is huge. Here's a little interesting thing: the sense of smell is the first jar to a memory. First jar. You can open up a baby. You can sit here and you can think about, the way baby powder smells. But the second you smell baby powder, how many memories come flooding back?
Yeah, yeah.
That we have to connect all of our senses, and that's what
With
helps us with.
grandmother and her perfume.
Yes. Yep. The minute that I smell it, I know I'm in trouble. I'm going straight for a corner. This was not, bought and paid for. This was well rounded by many of corners over the years.
No, to me, it just means I need to see something.
No, I'm usually in trouble. Uh, but it's, we all have the ability, and this is something that I talk about. Our number one ability as human beings is we have the ability to have empathy.
Mhm.
When we lose empathy, we lose everything. We lose literally everything. It disconnects us from A to Z, from Z to A. Empathy is something that needs to be enhanced and broadened. We have children. You look at an infant and you look at a toddler, they mimic. So, therefore, there's that leading by example. You lead by example to do everything with love. and to guide them the best way that you can with good morals and a good foundation.
Mhm.
You do the proper communication. You learn your child. I'm not saying pamper them, baby them. You have to parent them. Do not be their friend at all times, but sometimes your child needs a friend. It just needs somebody to chill with. They need to talk to, be open.
Mhm.
You want to create a balance. You can't have too much strict. You can't have too much fun. And that goes all the way around with yourself, with your children, with anybody, anything, with work, with life, period. You wanted to talk about balance. You have to balance work and fun. You have to balance love and hate. You have to lead a balanced life. And sometimes living a balanced life means making some god awful hard decisions and some bad decisions all the way around. I never say that, it's easy. It's not. If I've got something coming at me that's completely 1,000% negative, I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, yay, I'm going to fight it with love and light. No. No, we're going to go to the back of the closet, boys and girls, and we're going to dig up some stuff. But, because you can't just sit down and take it. You pick and choose your battles, and you got to pick and choose the right weapons, and you got to pick and choose the right way to go about it.
And now here's the thing. We have that those of us that are into the paranormal, we know what can happen. We know what does happen. Some of the outside world does not. All they see is the outer. There's good, there's bad. It's this is fault, that's fault. Well, some of us know that there's some in between fault there. Um, uh, let's discuss the shooter in Uvalde. He had no guidance at all. Do you think he watched politics? No. He had a mother who was on drugs. He had a grandmother who was very vindictive. Um, she showed him no love. So he had no love anywhere. Is that a reason to do that? No. No, it's not. Because you can watch TV and see love all around you. You know it's there and you can do that. Just because you didn't have it doesn't mean you can't do it. But
so there, I agree. Like, well, I'm going to say this. You want to change the world? Go back to church.
no matter what church it is, it doesn't matter.
No matter what church it is. And you know what? Why don't you go in there with, an open mind, some open heart, some open love, and build a community again instead of going to the bar. And instead of going to the strip club, why don't you go sit down and go have dinner with your family? I don't care if you're married with kids or if you're single. You have a mom, you have a dad, you have grandparents. Why don't you pick up the phone? Pick up the phone. Don't send a text message. Call. I can't imagine not calling my grandmother every day she was alive. She would have never let me live it down. She'd be haunting me right now. That's the reason why she haunts you. Me.
Yeah. You did something. There's something you didn't do, and I'm paying for it.
I know. It's all in due time. But get back to family. Get back to the basics. Don't sit there and tell me what you don't have. I'm going to tell you what you do have. I'm going to show you the resources that you do. You do. Instead of saying I can't, say I can. Man, my toddler comes up to me and she's like, I can't. I'm like, ooh, it's like saying whatever to me. Don't say whatever. Don't say I can't. Don't say but.
You do the same thing to me.
I do. I do it to everybody. See, I don't do favoritism.
No.
I do not care who you are. If you are in my presence, if you are in my love, if you are in my energy and I have accepted you, you are going to get it straight across the board. A lot worse than somebody else who's just on the street. But then again, the same person on the street isn't going to get some cookie cutter version of me. They're going to get me. I don't care if you gave birth to me. If you were messing up, I am going to get in your face and go, what are you thinking? I love somebody enough to tell them, whoa, dude, slow it down. who do you think you are? Let's take a step back, Buckaroo, and let's reel it in and let's get real with ourselves. I guess that's just me. It's just
The problem is they have no idea how true that is.
no. I think people laugh and they're like, "Oh yeah, she's funny,"
No,
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 no, it's
no.
real.
I told somebody yesterday. I said, "I love you." I said, "I love you more than words. I love you beyond the universe, beyond all the energy, and all the way back. And Lord help me, somebody crosses your path. They're going to feel all of it because you're in my love, you're in my protection, and nobody's going to hurt you. Not while you're with me. And if they do, they will learn a lesson. I will not pay them back. I will hold up a mirror and I will say, hey, hi. That's one of my favorite things to do to a kid who's acting up. Look in the mirror, look yourself in the eye, and get real.
There was an old lady, and she was my landlord at the time. I was 20, 22, maybe 22 at the most. And I had my oldest and single mom. I was completely lost because this child was banging her head on the floor, screaming. Doctor told me, leave her alone, walk away. Problem
Sorry.
is, this child's breaking her head open. And so my landlord, she's 80s, she was raising her great grandkids. She looks at me and she said, what's going on there? I said, I don't know. She said, okay. She said, do exactly what she's doing. I said, the hell? She said, just do it. Well, it didn't work. So she said, okay, take a glass of water. When she's screaming, standing there top of her lungs, you throw that in her face. To this day, this child says, you tried to drown me. I said, yeah, but it didn't work, did it? Because you were still screaming.
Right. I love the melodramatics of kids. Like and even as an adult, they still come at you, even though they have kids, and they're like, "Yeah, I totally get it, and you were not killing
And
me."
that's the funny thing.
Like, if you wanted to kill me, mom, you would have killed me.
A lot of times, people need to meditate to be able to feel, to see, to what she was seeing today. She has 5 children. 4 of them are the same age because they're step. So 2 of them are like twins. 2 sets are twins. And she has no time to meditate. She has no time to think, oh my goodness, my hair needs comb. She has none of that. But yet she can still do this. I can imagine what she could do if she had time to actually sit inside of herself and think.
Inside of herself, and to take a deep breath and to ground herself and to really connect. It's not time for her. It will be time for her soon. That's another thing. Energy has a funny way of working its way around. We started off with, the reason why I preach personal responsibility is because whatever is in your past will come back to haunt you. I promise you. I guarantee you. So just deal with it.
Emily said something that is exactly right.
Yep.
And this was actually before that. And this makes a whole lot of sense because I know my daughter's past. I wasn't always right there. She had a father that we were not together. He done some terrible things to her. And the psychologist, one of the two, explained it to me like this. What she's feeling inside, she cannot portray outside. So what she's doing is portraying it to you because she would cut herself. She went as far as to take a beer bottle cap and to take a wrist and just put it as far as it would go, just twist and twist till it was flat. And I asked, what do I do? He said, she's trying to portray to you how she feels inside, outside. I'm
There's
like,
also, but
but
this is the same. This is the same one that probably came to you today and told you that she was feeling energy.
Yeah.
And she was seeing energy. And being somebody at a very young age, I was very grateful that I learned how to work with energy. Um, the humming and the vibrations can be so off kiltering, and it can be loud, and just wanted to stop. The voices can come in and they can start being really loud, and they're like, oh, look at somebody's awake, and they're going at you. And that's exactly what it looks like in a lot of cases. But
this makes a lot of sense. This is something that I never said anything, so I never really knew anybody who had, only the people closest to me ever knew what that this happened. But I never really knew anybody who went through the same thing to really compare. Um, she she had a lot of, it wasn't just it was physical also that she went through. Um, her grandmother took her away from me and took off, just like kidnapped her and took off for about 8 years of her life. So she was ended up with her father, and he ended up for molestation. Let's put it that way. And it was not her, but you can imagine that it probably did happen. Um, he should still be in prison, but we know our system. He's not. He's out there to be able to do things to other people. It happened to be neighbor children. It happened to be family. Um, but yet here he is. But I think that's what she was trying to portray outward. And of course, but at the time she was doing that at 5 years old, it was just trying to show me. And I was 18. I was 17 when I had her. So it was a baby raising a baby. So neither one of us, we're trying to figure each other out. Did I raise her right? Absolutely not at that age. No. When she would have anger, I would react with anger. So no, no, I didn't help that situation at all. Not one little bit. I know that now, but you can't really apologize for what you've done because it's done. It is. I mean, you can, but it is done. The damage is done.
It's done. Yeah. Oh, I get it. I was always honest with Dylan since the day I had him. I was 18 when I had Dylan, and I looked at him the day he was born. I said, "I'm so sorry, honey." I said, "I'm going to mess your life up." I said, "I don't know what I'm doing." I said, "But we're going to learn together every step of the way," and that's the way I tried to go into motherhood. It was just, let me learn, teach me. And I made my mistakes. I still make them every day, and it's hard. It happens. You have to learn how to move past it. You have to still love, you still have to guide. I tell my kids every day, I was still a child when I was raising you. I was just a baby. I was still trying to figure out how to do this. I have the ability to be a grandparent now and to be an amazing grandparent because I get to have fun. But my job as a parent is still not done. It's never done. You're always supposed to be there to love and guide your children. We still pick up the phone and go, well, who's the first person we want to call? Mom or dad? Always, because mom and dad has the answer because they've already been there. They've already done that. They've already got the knowledge. Well, who do you think they're calling? Mom and dad. Whether it's like dialing them up in their memory or if you have the blessings of having them still in their lives, they still call mom and dad. It's a beautiful circle of life. So when I look at it, you can't ever go back. But Lord, you can help her, be there for her first child, for her second child, for her third child. And it's the friendship and the bond and the relationship that you have later on in life that should be the absolute blessing. That's the reward of parenthood. Is once you get done growing up, you get the blessings of it all. You should be able to have the blessings of your children, and you should be able to have the blessings of your grandchildren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except with grandchildren, she's got 5. So when there's 5, all within a year apart, not some of them, not even a year, um, it's not fun. And I'll go. She used to live in the same town as me. I'd go over there, and before I'd even step out of the car, I'm hearing, "God damn it! What are you doing?" I'm, hey, your child's name's not God damn it. What are you doing?
No, that one's little shit. And that one's yeah. No, I get it.
What I do? I said, number one, have you spanked enough that they're completely immune to it? Probably. Okay. You're screaming they're completely immune to. They're tuning that out. They're gone.
Right.
So she's like, they're coming to your house, and that terrified them. We lived a mile apart, but I'm calling grandma. No. Okay, if it works, it works. I'd go to the bus stop because they got kicked off the bus for doing whatever, biting
Being
another
boy.
kid, hitting another kid. I don't even know. They've done it
Being
all.
boy.
So I'm
We
standing
need
there.
to let boys be boys. I'm sorry, let boys fight. Let girls pull each
Oh, the
other's
boys
hair.
are-
Little, let them fight. Let them be animalistic. Let them learn how to become top dog, alpha and everything else. I mean, monitor it to a point.
The bus
But
driver called. They're kicked off the bus. Mom, I can't afford to take them every day for the next week that they're kicked off. I got you. Grandma's standing there at the bus stop. Their eyes are wide open, going, "Oh no." I said, "Come down here." Looked at the bus driver. What's going on? Well, he did this and this. Oh, yeah? How long is he kicked off for? No, they're kicked off for 2 or 3 days, whatever it was. God. Those 2 or 3 days, they're going with me. They're going, ah, ah, ah. They stay with me for those 3 days. I'm taking them to school. For some reason, it worked. They did not, the whole time they're like, I don't want to go to grandma's. I don't want to do this.
you know what? Why did it's not the fear that grandma's going to beat your butt.
No.
It's not the fear that, it's the fear of disappointing grandma. You don't want grandma to be mad. I never wanted my grandmother to be mad at me or my grandparents at all, or my great grandparents. I was like, no. I remember the last time, literally remember the last time I got my butt beat and I got my butt chewed. And watching them do that, I learned, for some reason in my little brain, it clicked. Thank God I didn't want to do that again. I didn't want to hurt them. I didn't want to push them that far. I wanted them to be on my side. I wanted to be a good kid. I didn't want to be a bad kid. I didn't live to please them. They raised me to be true to myself, though. And being true to myself, I was able to be true to them. I never hid anything for them. I can't sit there and say I didn't hide anything from my mom. I did. I hid everything from her. Still do. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. But I never hid anything from my grandparents. Never. I was able to be me. And I always loved that. And that's, grandparents should be that. But you never want to disappoint grandma. Never. Mm-mm.
No, but the funny thing is, I wasn't the grandma. I couldn't be the grandma that just gave out candy and cakes and cooked for them and all. No. I was
that's a service.
That ass, because they wouldn't listen to nobody else.
Yep. Being a grandma's not just fun and games. I mean, you still have a responsibility. It's just like, it's like the neighbor's kid. I'm sorry, if I see the neighbor's kid and that neighbor's kid's messing up, I'm gonna jump him. That's it. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make that kid do whatever it takes to fix whatever he messed up. I'm not gonna raise my hand. I'm not gonna raise my voice, but it's the way I approach and it's the way I make them self-reflect.
Mhm.
And they go, oh, crap, I don't know you, but I don't want to disappoint you.
Yeah.
Let's get this taken care of.
And that's
You're
the thing.
being a human.
I lived in Kentucky, and that's a whole different world. If you know anything about rednecks, that's a whole different world. This town was a town of 300 people, so everybody knew everybody's kids. Um, I wasn't used to that. My next door neighbor had a little boy, all girls and then one boy. Little boy was 12. He came to my house one day. I didn't know about it. He stole a motorcycle, little dirt bike, hid it on my back porch. He come up, can I park my bike here? Sure. I found out it was stolen. I did what I thought I was supposed to do, went to his parents. And I said, hey, here's what he did. And here's the bike. And he was like, did you whoop his ass? I said, no. He said, you have two choices. He picked up this collar with studs on it. And he said, this is Raven. This is what I beat him with. He said, now, you can either whoop his ass at your house, you can send him here, and this is what I'm going to do to him. So, no, I, I whooped his ass with my hand, which did not hurt that 12-year-old one tiny bit.
The embarrassment.
It didn't even do that. This kid was so far gone from his dad doing that to him. He would beat him all over the body with that.
Yeah, see, no, I grew up with the I grew up with the little Mexican grandmas.
Oh, that chunkless. Oh no.
Oh, that's a good day. Chunkless, you forgot to shut the front door. Is a chunkla, you know. Not the telephone cord, the telephones, skillets, whatever they could get their hands on, and you just don't disrespect them, but we never thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, I would never, ever go into somebody's house and disrespect them. Absolutely not. That was just the wrong thing to do. I knew that person was going to whoop my butt. See, and that's the way I raised all the kids. Any kid that came to my house, like I said, no favoritism. I lined you up, oldest to youngest, and you got it. I didn't care if you were mine. I didn't care if you were the president of the United States of America's kids could have been standing in front of me, and I would have been like, you want to go? You don't mean nothing to me. You're just another kid that I need to whoop into shape. No, I mean, they do. They mean the world to me, or I wouldn't be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
you gotta take responsibility. If you see somebody messing up, don't go over there and be like, just find a way. I'm sorry. Don't stand there. Okay, no, I can't even say that. I'm sorry. I see these videos and it makes me sick. People doing nothing on the subway, people doing nothing in the streets. Are you kidding me? Where is your humanity? Mm-hmm. Seriously, that's what I'm saying. You need to get down to personal responsibility. Where is your humanity? If I saw anything going down on the streets, and this is probably why it doesn't happen around me, because the energy knows that my butt would be locked up. Because I would open up. I would just go start whooping people. Yeah. There would be no stopping me. Yep. Like, you would not lay your hands on a woman in front of me. You would not lay your hands on a child in front of me. You would not attack somebody in front of me. You would never do it. No, don't. Yep. You will get the nastiest, meanest side of me, because I am a mama bear to all means. And that's something that we need to take responsibility for. I'm tired of seeing it. Start documenting it and just start doing something about it.
Don't what's funny though?
On the subway, get their butt beat.
Yeah. Don't. But you talk about women. Don't hit a woman. That happened twice that I know of where I used to live.
Don't hit a man either. Just because
No,
you're a woman,
no,
don't you lay your hand on a man. It
no.
goes all the way around. I
Mhm.
mean, if I'm going to throw hands with somebody, I'm going to throw hands with somebody, but they're going to be the first ones hitting me.
Yeah, but this happened twice. I worked at a gas station.
Physically, mentally, verbally.
Um, a man stepped up and he goes, what the fuck are you doing? And took that guy off of her. She beat the guy for doing that. The same guy that was beating her. She beat the guy that took him off. That happened twice.
It
I'm like,
happens, but what's the rarity of it?
it happened a lot. That's what scared me. And then we talked about somebody hitting children. This town of 300. One day I got a phone call. Of course, 300. I mean, come on. Our preacher was the bus driver of all our kids. We were best friends with this farm down the road, and she had 3 kids. I had 4, and got a call. We're delayed. What's going on? I've got 3 of your kids out here that I'm whooping their ass outside the bus. All right. So they get their ass whooped when they get home. He literally had them lined up out there spanking their butts. Okay. Another time, there was all of our kids, and 7 of them, all between the ages of 7 and 12. Mason being one of them. They got caught dipping. Well,
No, that was my house.
it was cool because dads were doing it. Okay, great. We went out, not me, the dads went out, bought a can of dip for each kid. So I want this gone by the end of the day. Well, one of them, great. Same one that I had to beat his butt. No problem. The rest of them were puking off the porch. I said, I'm going to tell you something. You're not puking in my car. You'll stay the night here. Mason's like, Mom, I really didn't take any of it. I said, great. Get in the car. You puke, you're cleaning it up. He didn't. But there was another time, I don't know, I don't even remember what they did. We drove up to get them. There's 5 kids lined up in a horse whip. Not one of the great big ones, but a little horse whip. Each one of them down the line getting one whack. Okay. I stood there and waited till they were done.
The thing, it's one of those things. It's not if you're going to beat their butt. It's learning a consequence.
Yeah.
We resort back to that because it's the consequence.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that
awesome.
Our actions had a consequence. So therefore, you take the personal to round this all out, and why family dinners are important, why personal responsibility is important, everything else, because we're over an hour. To round it all out, when you take responsibility for your children and you take responsibility for yourself and you teach consequence, you teach personal responsibility. And therefore, you're able to further yourself in life and to expand your mind and expand your heart, expand your soul, to learn, to grow, to fertilize that shit garden and plant some flowers in it. And you're able to teach, and you're able to change the world.
So we said something earlier, somebody did, about, just cartoon socks. Think we're kidding? No. This is every day. Yes.
So find something like that, though. It's find something that, buy, some Sasquatch boxers or, some Stitch undies and do something fun. Be a kid again deep down inside, too. Take the personal responsibility to, stop being a stiff. Go have fun. Go dance. Go let your hair down. Go be wild. Go be yourself.
But I will tell you this. There's some adults here recently that we've run into that also need some responsibility. And they may get some the hard way. Nobody has to do anything to them. Nobody has to say anything. Nobody has to do anything. It's going to come back.
Mhm.
What you put out there is coming back. I People think we don't know what's been done, what's been said, what's been put out there. We do.
We do as energy workers. I always say the hardest person to be in a relationship with, a friendship with,
It is.
it is an energy worker. I always say the first reason why you fall in love with me is going to be the first reason why you hate me. You know, um, it's always the truth when you get down to it. And, everything comes back
Mhm.
because we feel everything. We may not know, but that doesn't mean we don't know.
Mhm.
We know. We'll figure it out.
That's it. We'll figure it out. If we
It'll
can
come to
shift
us.
that energy
We don't have
line,
to do anything. Right. We don't have to do anything. We just have to sit here, mind our own business, which is what we do. We do our own thing. I'm busy with the kids. I'm busy with my home. I'm busy with my life. You're busy with yours. You have your things that you do. It doesn't consume us. This doesn't consume us. We are consumed with our lives. Um, So when we get disrupted, we know that we're disrupted, and we know that somebody's knocking at our door. And I like that. Have the personal responsibility if you're knocking at my door to make sure that you're knocking with the good intentions. Because if you're knocking with bad intentions, I'm not going to come to the front door. I go to the back. I go to the side. I'm not going to deal with you. I'm gonna remove you from my life. And I think that that's a good way to also end the show is the personal responsibility to get rid of the negativity in your life, and don't cut them out. Don't ever cut somebody out. You unplug them and you plug them into somebody that loves them. Don't ever just leave that cord hanging. If you have to leave somebody, make sure that you leave them with love, with the intention of love. And as an energy worker, that's important. And even as any human being, that's important. Um, when you knock on somebody's door, make sure your intentions are good. Make sure that your facts are straight and your heart's true. And your facts just have to be straight with you. Make sure you're doing it with the best of your knowledge and the best of your abilities. That's huge. So
it
if you
is.
knock at somebody's door, we hear it, and we know the vibration, if it's good, if it's bad, you know. So with that being said, clear your hearts, clear your souls of any negativity. Bring nothing but joy and happiness back into your life. Try to pull that light that's on the outside of you back inside of you and let it shine from the inside. And love yourself and love everybody where they're at and love yourself where you're at. Take some personal responsibility and make the changes. Do good by you and you do good by others. Have family dinners.
Yeah.
Seriously. Well, we might have to just throw up some recipes on the
That's
page.
not a bad idea.
Yeah. Get out there. Actually, everybody watching, go throw your favorite recipes.
Yep.
I want to know them.
Yep.
All
We'll
right.
make them.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll make
eat
them.
them
I'll
up
do
on
it.
the show.
I will do it.
You can see I have no problem eating. That's not an issue. Let's have some more food.
Right? I'm on the seafood diet.
Enoch, he's a chef. He's got lots of good recipes. I already know this.
Oh, don't tell me that because I'll just show up at his door. I
Oh,
won't cook your
never mind.
dish. I'll make you cook your dish for me. I won't make you. I'll sweet talk you into doing it.
He's
I'll
awesome.
yeah, I'll convince you that you want to cook for me.
Yeah, he would. He don't care.
You really do.
Yeah.
So do I. Family dinners, I look forward to them, man. I love them. You never know what you're going to get at a family dinner.
Family dinner, friends dinner. It doesn't
You
matter.
just eat together. Eat together.
Every
Be
Tuesday
merry.
we have the in-laws over. I have the in-laws over. Okay. So You learn something new every time. It
That's
doesn't matter if they're repeating the same stories that you have heard 1,000 times. You learn something new and you remember it.
it's
And you're
important to them, so it
like,
should be important to you when it comes to that. If that's what they're talking about, there's a
oh,
lesson to be learned there. There's love to be shared always. Even if it's a family dinner that goes awry, it happens. To the best of us, every foundation gets an earthquake. You just clean it up and you laugh it off the next go around. You don't talk about it. You just let it slide and go to the next one.
that's it.
Let
That's it.
bygones be bygones.
Sometimes.
Okay, hey, I always say don't bury the hatchet, just cover the hole and take the hatchet with you.
That's it.
All right, you guys.
We
We're
went
gonna get
way
out
over.
of Jeremy
Thank you
yells out.
for being with us. We love y'all.
Love you
Send us
guys.
your recipes.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.